You see how when we talk about women putting their hands on men, we almost all smirk a little bit. It's just weird. But now, and I'm not talking about women putting their hands on men
I was
in
wrong.
in a fight where the man is hitting
No,
them. We that's
that's
different.
not what
So when a woman is defending herself, that's
was
one thing.
not.
But when a woman smack a man up or whatever,
I
we
was
do
looking
look
for
at
a
it a little
fight.
bit differently.
I was.
And I appreciate you being honest about
Well,
that.
that's the culture that we live in. Though we live in a society for generations where it's almost acceptable for a woman to hit a man because it's how society was defining
It's
masculinity.
nature.
A man should be able to. We not that it's right. I'm not saying that it's right, but we live in a. You can go back to the '70s TV shows, maybe not so much as in the '60s. I don't know. But as far as I can remember, even when I look at pop culture from the '70s all the way up until now, men are supposed to be able to take
Right.
it. If a woman slaps you, if she pushes you, or whatever, you're a man. You're supposed to
Walk
just be
away.
able to take it. You're just supposed to walk away and just leave it alone. As a woman, okay, if he does something to you, he talks crazy to you, or he does this, you need to smack the
Absolutely.
shit out of him, and you need to let him know. You need to put him
Absolutely.
in his place. That is
That.
that's the culture that we live in. And the only way we're going to stop these cycles of abuse is if we gotta nip that in the bud. It's not okay for anybody to hit anybody. When we start normalizing, well, it's okay for a woman to hit a man, but a man should never hit a
Yeah.
woman. He's supposed to walk away. He's not supposed to do this. He's not supposed to do that. Then we are setting up
We
this double
did.
standard, a
Well,
very dangerous
think about it. Think
double
about it for a minute.
standard.
Women are far more violent than they used to be back in the
We
day.
are.
That
If
is
you look
true.
at the young girls, when I go online today and I see a lot of the fights, I see far more fights with women tearing up the IHOP, tearing up the Waffle House.
It's all women.
You know what I'm talking about?
It's all women. And let me tell you something.
Women
Women of
tearing it
color,
up.
I'm just gonna talk about our group. We have anger issues. Our culture, our group, our generations, we have anger issues. We don't like nobody staring at us. We don't like nobody rolling their eyes at us. We have problems with everything that we see. Like if this person is doing this, they doing that. Like we start off negative. Like we that's just
Well, that goes to that whole
yeah.
stereotype of black women
Yep.
being angry, and
And
this culture of, in order to be strong, in order to be badass, in order to not take no shit from nobody, then you gotta be angry and you gotta be ready to fight. And I dare somebody
yep.
to say some shit to me because I'm gonna slap the shit out of her. If she says something to
You
me, she look at me crazy
You
one more
can't
time.
even
I'm
tell
gonna give her a
somebody that
reason.
they tag
No,
is
you see
sticking
what I'm
out their
saying?
shirt nowadays without them getting an attitude.
Right.
It's like,
Every there
I'm just
That's
trying to
another
help you out, but
distorted.
okay, like it's
Exactly.
hard to
And
talk
that's
to
that's a
us.
whole nother distorted view of black women and black strength as, black strength, being distorted into black
And
anger and
meanness.
aggression. And the two are not synonymous. They don't
No.
have to go together. But I think that our pop culture again has twisted these two to go together to make it seem like, okay, if you don't want to look like a
Mm-hmm.
punk, then you got to be ready and willing to fight if somebody says
Absolutely.
something crazy to you. That's how you make people
Well,
respect you.
let's look at that. So when you have all of what you guys are saying, what you all are saying, you have some relationships where the abuse may start with the woman, right? And that's a good point. Some of the abusive relationships may start with the actual woman. And I think because we kind of snicker about, I mean, if a woman punch, I've never been punched by a woman, you know what I'm saying? Like on that level. I've probably been pushed before, but I just kind of laugh. I just kind of smirk. You know what I'm saying? I don't take it seriously, although I should take it seriously. I don't take it seriously, and I haven't been in a lot of crazy, tumultuous relationships like that. But if a woman was to punch me, I probably would kind of be, I would be shocked. I probably smirk or laugh like this is crazy. But but at the end of the day, I think yes, I think the women of today are far
Aggressive.
more there is more of a acceptance to be a little more violent. And I think
Hmm.
not just well, we're talking about black women, and
And when
again,
you
people
talk
always
about
get
women in
mad. They're like,
general,
oh,
it's
no,
not
it's not
just
all black
us.
women. So let me just
I
say
can
that
speak on
now.
us
Not
because I know us, but it's not just us.
right. So, but I'm making my disclaimer because everybody get mad, and it's because it's not all black women, but we're just talking about us because we're talking about us. But I want to actually play this video about this and Twin, you brought this up to me about this OnlyFans model
Hmm.
who killed her boyfriend, right?
Hmm.
And let me play this. So I want to play that, and I want to talk about Jonathan Majors too,
Okay.
because there's some situations where the men is actually trying to they try to walk away. Men are supposed to walk away, and sometimes when the men try to walk away, because it's so acceptable for women to be aggressive, women feel comfortable
Hmm.
being like, "No, it ain't over. I'm gonna follow you everywhere," and da da da. Da. And then, so let me play this. I'm gonna play a little
I
clip of
remember
this.
that
This is
clip.
Courtney what is her name? Courtney Clenny or Cleany, if I'm saying her name correctly. She's an OnlyFans model, and she ended up killing her boyfriend. So I think she's either still on trial or
We've also, from the beginning, been looking at this elevator video where it looks like Courtney Clenny is the aggressor, punching Christian, pulling his hair, going after him, screaming at him. But Courtney Clenny, her parents, have a different version of what's happening in this elevator video. Here's what they told TMZ. That elevator went directly to her landing to go into her apartment. She had a $12,000 a month apartment where the elevator goes straight to hers, right? And you can see how desperate she is for him not to follow her. She's trying to push him off the elevator because she doesn't want him to come in. And you can see he's like a rock. Her trying to push him out, and she can't push him out. And I think the people shown that video do tend to cut out the part where he has her in a headlock. Now, who's the aggressor? Who's the victim? And is this going to be a viable defense in front of the jury that she's in fear of her life?
so that video there, and I don't know why. It's again, it's a different thing when the man is obviously the aggressor. It's not as I don't smirk, but for whatever reason, I'm just looking at like this chick is wilding out.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now we don't know what happened before or after, but it goes back to the point of like it don't look like she's trying to get away from him or that he's beating her. It kind of looked like she's going to work on him, and he's like, "Let me put you in a headlock so you could chill." So I don't know.
Well, I followed this
Oh, you
case,
did.
and they actually have other audio tapes that I think that she recorded and he recorded on both of their devices, where you can clearly hear that she's the aggressor in all of these. That video was when around the time that she first got arrested and stuff. As things developed, you can hear on these tapes where she almost sounds like the devil. She's screaming at the top of her lungs. I mean, something's wrong up here. She's screaming and screaming, and you can tell when you listen to these tapes. It's like this is an abuse. He's got battered
How did
man
she?
syndrome
What is she
because
charged
it's
with?
like
Okay, so she.
murder.
How did she kill him?
She
I
stabbed him
do
to
Exactly.
death.
remember that clip. I
Later
didn't
on,
follow the
she
case
stabbed
all
him
the
to
way,
death.
but I do remember that clip. As soon as you showed it, I said, "Oh yeah,
You remember that
I
one?
remember it."
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so on these tapes, you can hear her being emotionally abusive, violent, and disrespectful in a way like you're thinking to yourself, who's going to put up with that? And 9 times out of 10, it's reversed. You're thinking, why is this woman staying with this man and he's talking to her like that and treating her, and it's the total opposite. She's like, you better effing go get my phone and find my phone for me. Do this for me. I mean, she's talking to him like he's a dog. And I'm thinking to myself, why is he with her?
Let me
and he's being
let me
calm
offer
on the
a
tapes.
reason. Now, some men, not me, but some men kind of like when a woman is wilding out because they feel like they're kind of acting up over them. They're showing up, and there's different levels to it, obviously, but some men kind of like that a little bit. They kind of think it's cute. Oh, she's worked up. She'll whoop any female who look at me. She'll whoop their ass, and she's hitting on me and she's fussing over me. So it's kind of like, and that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, boost your ego a little bit, but it can always get a little out of control because anytime somebody's getting
Very out of
physical with
control.
you, even if it's a woman, it could get a little crazier because one day she's fighting another woman, next day she's shooting at your car,
Right.
the next day she's shooting at your head. So it can get that way, but I think some guys think it's cute,
I mean,
Yeah,
and
some do.
when they talked about the actual stabbing, it was clear it was not in self-defense. I mean, she stabbed dude to death. I mean, it just, and in my mind, I'm thinking he probably never thought it would come
he
to
probably
that.
didn't. He
Right.
probably didn't.
But
Most
I
men
mean,
don't.
there was other tapes, and even some of her friends had testified in the they said in their documentary about her that she was wilding out because he said hi to one of her friends. That's all he did was they saw each other, I don't know, on the street or something like that. Her friend was like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" He's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And that was it. And she went nuts. I'm like,
Smaller
Yeah.
things can
for
set them off.
other people in hindsight, it's like you can see the writing on the wall. Like